breaking hearts, and eventually all the rules. Maddie T, Genevieve, and Eric James. It's the Crying Game.
In a world without laughter, 3 podcasters aim to uplift humanity by talking about their tears. This is the Crying Game podcast, everybody.
They're unsure if it will work, because on paper it doesn't sound plausible.
In 40 years, when Jen and Abdul have a kid, and Abdul dies suddenly, we need to make a video podcast.
I just want them to know what he's like.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by My Life.
Watch My Life by Michael Keaton.
By watching My Life. Sponsored by Watching My Life.
My Life is the new streaming service me and Eric have available.
Yeah.
It's just us being sad in our rooms.
Yep. And the movie My Life.
We watch the movie My Life 24 hours.
We have 2 live video streams and the movie My Life. Those are your options. It's a great streaming service.
I hope that it's split screen with each of your faces.
Oh
watching.
yeah, we have a great picture-in-picture aspect of this.
We're actually it's just us FaceTiming each other while my Life plays in the background.
Do you think anyone's watching?
I hope this is a big hit.
I hope Michael Keaton tunes in.
Michael Keaton, if you're out there, what's up?
Yeah.
You're our celebrity name drop of the day. Hey, you're not doing anything right now other than the most recent Spider-Man movie and Birdman. You're doing great, Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Also, Michael Keaton asked us to say this.
Yeah.
He forced us to.
Yep.
He listened to the part where we were like, get at us at thecryinggame@gmail.com. And he's like, gotta do that. Right
I gotta get it then.
get there right now.
Hey, you know when you did from Joel McHale and you gave him a show on Netflix?
I know. Can you
Do it for us.
Can I get something like that?
I don't know why Michael Keaton refers to himself as us.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a weird dude.
All right.
He played Popeye, not in a movie.
That was part of my life.
And son, you're gonna want
I am what
know
I
how
am.
to do a perfect Popeye impression.
Full of cancer I am.
They passed down these fake muscles.
Pluto gave me the cancer.
Passed down like a really torn, ripped Popeye costume with like kind of like malformed fake muscles.
One day you'll grow into it, son. Yeah. And then you'll have become a man.
Stains.
Yeah.
Lots of stains.
I drew tanks on the arms.
I forgot about the part of my life where Michael Keaton's a professional Popeye impersonator.
I know. Well, not professional. It's more of a hobby. But he does it a lot.
A weekends and after work.
Yeah, weekends and after work. In between works.
In between.
Also, as a quick disclaimer, if you actually go and watch the movie My Life, it is not as funny as it sounds when we talk about
it's
it.
a very sad
It will
movie.
make you cry.
It's sad.
Hey, if you watch My Life with Michael Keaton, email us and talk about it at thecryinggame@gmail.com.
I know our music for this week is definitely going to be like the Lone Ranger.
Also, I can't wait to watch it now because I haven't seen it.
That's
and
a
be
My
really
Life
disappointed.
deep cut. That's a My Life deep cut I just threw out there. The Lone Ranger there.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh.
I haven't seen My Life in a while. We should all watch My Life.
Yeah.
Also, maybe if this doesn't work out, you guys could do riff tracks for My Life.
Yeah,
That's the perfect
do
movie
that.
to do.
yeah, what a great
We'll
movie.
do riff tracks to depressing movies.
And Dancer in the Dark.
And Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah. Only the last 15 minutes. Who's that? That'll be my riff tracks for the last 15 minutes.
Who's that?
Who is that?
Now, who's that guy?
Ah, come on. Get this guy out of here.
Man, Eric, you're good at riff tracks.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks, man. I've been practicing. I
Just
think
like that Tim Curry impression.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How'd it go again? Oh yeah, I'm not doing it.
Eric, that's not funny. All right, guys, we did all of the stuff we talked about for the last hour in the first 5 minutes of this podcast.
Nailed it.
All right, so
We're gonna intersplice those throughout the sad stuff, and it'll work out real great.
perfect.
Do it really poorly though, so there's clearly a break.
Yeah,
when they're
yeah.
talking. Yeah. Make
What did you have to say
Whenever
about
there's a
that,
lull,
Forrest
just say-
Gump? And then we'll put something in there.
yeah, exactly.
Stupid. Can't rain all the time. Wait, no.
Can't sit here.
You can sit next to me if you want to.
it was Lenny that he chose not to sit next to, because then Jenny asked, "Oh, I missed my chance
No,
to
dude,
sit next to Forrest Gump. Oh boy, Forrest Gump."
dude, Bubba does it to him too.
I know, yeah.
Lenny was on that bus also.
Also, I'm still here if you want to have a seat next to
He
me.
just repainted the bus green for the army.
It's this. If you watch the movie Forrest Gump, it's the same bus driver in the army.
Well, I'm in the army now. He says that when
Yeah, no, yeah.
he pulls up.
I think I have found a new. I don't know if you guys get like a laugh muscle that really hurts,
Yeah.
but I'm a little worried because now there's one on the back of my head.
Yeah, like
It's really strange.
It's the glasses. It's where the glasses.
But the thing is, like, it starts right after the glasses. It probably is the glasses, or
Yeah.
something horrible,
or something
or
terrible.
I can't wait to just
Let's
think
get
about
into
that all
that.
week.
Let's
All right,
get into
everybody,
it.
get out
Can't
your
wait to
phones.
stew on that and get
Called
on
WebMD of the week. All right, yeah. So this is episode 2.
That was
3.
like
Officially.
that was a great long
Where is it?
intro.
That was a really long
This is
intro.
episode 3.
I mean, technically it's
technically,
the third
yeah.
episode, but we're labeling them.
Number 2, because first one I guess was episode
Was 0.
0.
Oh yes, this is
Yeah.
episode 2. I will say the listenership of the last episode much lower than the.
Yeah, it's almost like it hasn't even come
It's
out
almost
yet.
like it hasn't even aired. It's like it's such a huge
Really
drop. It's
disappointed in
shocking.
everyone,
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
we went
especially
from-
my mom. You
I know she did. I got my fill.
I am done.
Yeah,
That's
that was
it.
enough. I listened to that one 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're back at it. It's just a host episode.
Yeah.
We didn't want any guests this week. Well, it was just really short notice because we're doing them back to back. So
Yeah.
we had a bunch of offers for guests, but we said no, thank you. Maybe next time.
Yeah. We said, "Whoa."
Yeah, we need a time for us.
I know. Yeah.
Back up.
Jeez,
Off.
guests, you're really invading our personal space.
Although we would like to thank Ryan.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah, he's
Ryan.
a
You're
great guest.
He was
You're a swell
awesome
guy.
guest.
Can't
and
wait to
he's
have
a
you
wonderful
back.
man.
Yeah.
And you do good art. And
And you can sit here if you want.
you can sit next to me if you want to. Sorry we ruined your Black Panther party.
Only got 5.
Sorry, Lieutenant Dan, she tasted like cigarettes.
Yeah, thanks for coming back to the Forrest Gump podcast.
My Jurassic Park podcast did not work
I
out.
know.
My
Still
Forrest Gump
Yeah.
going strong.
What if Forrest Gump was in Jurassic Park?
It's still this part would still happen. Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs.
Yeah, that would still be it. Gary Sinise would still lose his legs.
Still by a landmine for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, you gotta set some sort of trap for a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Dinosaur traps.
I know.
It's a red herring because you think he's going to get his legs bitten off.
Yeah, that's what they put on top
Yeah,
of the
that's
trap
They,
too.
they
to
got,
catch it.
they got confused about it because
It's a landmine.
you
red
can't
herring.
catch dinosaurs with traps.
Yeah.
You catch them with trap music.
Only with fish or fish.
Fish, the band Fish and
Yeah.
trap music.
The dinosaurs' 2 weaknesses.
Fish and trap.
They just lose control. They can't.
It's an overwhelming experience. Yeah, so I guess we'll do what made us cry this week. Who wants to go first?
Who?
Absolutely not me.
All right.
I had a meltdown last time.
You.
Me?
Yep.
Okay, I haven't gone
The
first. yet.
host.
What made me cry this week? Oh, something really embarrassing. Got me really choked up. I was watching The Lord of the Rings. I think it was the Two Towers.
Yeah.
And it's the first one. It's the
Okay,
first
that
one.
makes so much more sense.
Sorry, everybody.
I was gonna say what?
But at the end, when Boromir has his redemption arc, like after he steals the ring, and then he goes and helps the hobbits, and he dies doing it. I got really choked up, and then it was very late. It was very late at night, and I felt the tears coming on, and I did a thing that I do sometimes because, like I said before, it's like I am terrified of the cry. Like my body rejects the cry, so I just tried to spiral into it. I tried to, and I got so close to the point where I had one.
Yeah.
And then my body just put it
Shut
away.
it down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shut it the fuck
Yep.
down. So it didn't.
What do you
happen.
Tuck it deep inside.
It becomes self-aware.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing there? What's
Yeah.
happening there, buddy?
Yeah. What are you trying to do?
Nothing.
That's not getting
Oh,
out.
no, no,
No?
no, 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 no.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Not for this.
Not for Boromir.
No, not for Boromir. I don't think he's fully redeemed himself.
I mean, humans are flawed, man. That's why they got those 9 rings.
See, this is
Also,
I
never
disagree.
seen
Sauron.
any of it. But you guys you're painting a really great picture.
Yeah, well, there's this like part where Boromir reveals himself to be the Batman, and then Kal-El comes down and is like, "Yo, I'm from Krypton, and I gotta go to see Iron Man."
Mm-hmm. And it turns out they were ladies the whole time.
Fuck you guys.
They were ladies the whole time. It was crazy.
Wait,
Great twist.
yeah,
I'm gonna flip.
Lord of the Rings 4, white girls.
It was for white girls. Lord of the Rings for white girls.
No. Yes.
I don't think I want to see that movie.
Yeah,
It's
man.
clearly not for me.
All right.
Well, now I guess I'll fucking watch
Yeah,
the
you
whole
should
goddamn-
watch it. It's really.
I don't have anything going on the rest of the day.
Yeah.
After this.
Well, it's
I
gonna
guess
be
I could
more
just
than a
start
day.
now.
Yeah, just so you're aware before you go down this road. It's 3 movies and they're all over 3 hours long.
And
It's fine.
those are the short ones.
Yeah.
You can watch. That's the short
You can watch the
version.
extended versions that will take you a whole week.
Well, just as a
They're almost as long as
reference
this
for my
podcast.
for my capacity. I know. I hope everyone's in when the new episode does come out.
It's
I
even
know everyone
longer than
asked
the
that it could
first.
be much longer.
That
was
was a constant thing. People were being like, "Yeah,
Could it be longer?
yeah, an hour and 45 minutes, 2.5 hours. That's great, but I don't have anything to do.
That only took me 2 drives to work. I really need to take 4.
I want like a Connecticut and back
Yeah.
long
gonna-
podcast, please." Because I just love driving through Connecticut. It's so great.
Are we gonna talk shit? Did we talk shit about Connecticut on the last episode?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Every
be surprised.
episode. Fuck you, Connecticut.
Yeah,
It
sorry.
just keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Really
Sorry.
naturally.
Yeah, sorry, dude, and I don't mean to be gender biased, but Connecticut's totally a dude.
No, it is.
Some yuppie dude.
Come to my yacht sailing practice.
I just bought a yacht sailing practice. Yes, I had enough yachts and enough
I'm laughing
experience. But now
Now I teach others how to yacht sail.
now I have a practice.
All right, Eric.
Yeah.
Do you want to go next?
Yeah,
You have a
I-
mental breakdown.
I will.
Don't
I-
threaten me with a good time.
I'll fire me with a...
Wow. That's
No, I
the
will.
line.
Also, Brett
definitely
Michaels
will.
needs to come on every single episode.
I think we have a lot of reoccurring themes, which is really gonna be like really great for adding time
Yeah.
to our episode. But we haven't said I fucking love Anna Faris yet.
I haven't said it.
No,
I was going to
just
save
wait.
it. Yeah,
Save
don't
it.
worry.
no, I said it.
I
I got mine out.
Okay, you got yours
We all
out.
gotta say
I
it.
haven't screamed who I love into the microphone yet.
Not
The
yet.
only time that I'm loud enough is when I'm screaming. Just in case anyone was wondering
Yeah.
who I
Yeah.
really like.
That was another complaint we were getting. We were like, Jen's vocals are perfect, but she doesn't say who she loves enough.
Yes. A lot of feedback about
Yeah.
those two things.
This week it's Danny Trejo. Just want everyone
Yeah?
to know.
That's a
Alright.
good person. to
Love
fucking
Danny
love.
Trejo. I fucking love Danny Trejo.
Yeah. Oh, quiet.
We watched Machete.
I met him.
Oh, that's. Did you see the second one?
Yes, we did.
Oh, that's
I met him at Comic-Con a few
Yeah.
years ago. And by met him, I mean I was going to the bathroom,
Yeah.
and a tiny Danny Trejo slammed into me running into the bathroom while holding his wiener and jumping from foot to foot like a small child because he had to pee so bad. And then I went back to the table where my friends were hanging out, and I was like, yo, Danny Trejo just ran into me like a little kid who had to go to the bathroom holding his dick the whole time. And some random dude in the crowd behind me was like, that's a true story. I saw it happen. I'm like, thank you, stranger, for verifying the nonsense that is my life. I can see it.
Oh my
I
God.
saw it. He would have bumped into me if it wasn't for you. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you really saved
You're a
the day,
fucking
dude.
hero. You're like the Danny Trejo of Comic-Con.
Wait, so it actually was Danny Trejo?
Yeah.
That's an awesome
That's
story.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It only could be better if you
It
both
totally-
bumped into each other and then it both made you wet your pants.
I wish. I had just got done peeing, so
Oh,
I
okay,
was
yeah. So there's no
busy.
chance.
Oh, that would have even been better if he pissed on you.
Yeah, if he peed your pants.
Danny Machete pissed on me.
Have you ever done that thing like when you're like, oh, I gotta pee, and I gotta pee so bad, I'm not at the toilet yet, but I'm gonna take my penis out beforehand, just so I can just start. And that, just so you know, Jen, not a good idea.
Yeah,
Don't just do
I do that all the
Don't run
time.
around
Don't
with your
willy-nilly.
penis
I'm getting ready right now to just.
You
put your
are
penis
gonna
away.
make a mess.
Tell me this is my house.
It's not gonna work out.
Here at the
way
palatial
it-
Genevieve Estates, Genevieve's dick can always be up.
I couldn't think of that word, and I was like,
Palatial.
I was like, I should fucking Google that.
Yeah.
It's the name of my
Her
house.
paladin estates.
It's lawful good here. D&D joke for all you nerds.
Lawful good.
Yeah.
Lawfully good.
Lawfully good. What alignment do you think Batman is?
All.
Oh,
All
dude.
of them.
You're like talking about the gray nature of alignment in a real world in a harsh, grim Gotham in which you have to do what it takes to survive.
I feel like you're perfectly describing Batman when you describe my actions. So thank you.
You're like You're like the Batman of the palatial Genevieve Estates.
I'm like the Batman of this kitchen table. Don't touch that. Where's Rachel?
God,
What did you say, Martha? What did you say, Martha?
I'm not. I say this every time. I'm not taking sips of anything anymore.
Better watch
Oh,
out.
Because I almost did like and I went into the pocket of my cheek and I almost like
Near spit take.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
I don't squeeze it out.
Right into my
right into there. Not even a drop spilled.
Not even a drop spilled.
Yep.
All right, Eric.
Yeah,
what
well-
made you cut this week?
Well, I'm afraid my cat's dying. That's right. That's a good. No.
So
Are you gonna
sorry.
film a My Life like
I hope it
video?
isn't.
I was like,
For your future
and I know we
guests.
talked about the idea of keeping it lighthearted, but I figured that's a good lighthearted segue. I had I think it's like in true to form as that seems to be every time we've recorded, I have cried either the morning of or the night before. Like it just seems that's my cry, and I
Seems
don't
to
know if I'm
happen.
getting like emotionally prepped for today.
Just opening
And
yourself
then
up,
just
opening
like
the gates,
yeah,
my
and
man.
then and then it starts like the night before, like something will. But so my cat's hair was very dreaded. He does not groom himself well. Dirty cat. Roman, lovely, bratty beast. He's like, oh, he annoys the crap out of me so much, but like he's my buddy. I love this guy, and so I've been like brushing him more. And, like, just really, like, because I sent a picture to someone, and then they're like, why are you brushing your cat? And I was like, oh, because, not great. so I started doing it, and I was like, I was like, wow, like, and it's, like, working great. And usually when I brush him, the reason that I haven't, like, brushed him for long periods of time is because he gets, like, swipey, and, like, I'm just like, all right, I'll give him a break, and then, like, go at it.
Yeah.
But, it was taking, due to depression or whatever, taking longer breaks and just sitting there, like, because he's like, I know. Sorry, I know. But so I was like really making an effort to like just be like, no, like, take care of this. He's your buddy. Take care of your buddy.
Yeah.
So like, brushing him a lot more, and he's like looking a lot better. And then I was like, man, he is looking good. And he was like a little chubby, but I was like, maybe it's like I'm brushing him and like this dead hair is coming off, and like so he's like thinning out or whatever. And it wasn't until like yesterday morning I was like, he's actually a lot thinner than he was.
yeah.
And I'm like
So-
feeling bones and like on his back,
Yeah.
and he hasn't like, and he's not moving very fast, and his meow's very quiet and very lethargic.
Yeah.
And I saw him try and jump up onto a small shelf, like in the kitchen cabinet. I left the door open for him or whatever, and it's not high, and he failed.
Oh no!
And that
that's
like,
so
and that like,
sad.
oh yeah, that like got me going, and I
Yeah.
was just like, because like I know they're cats and they're pets, and I know the inevitability of what is going to happen. I've had pets pass away before, but it's like it's never happened when it was just me and the pet.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I've never had to, even when my one of my other cats died, which was very sad, but he passed away like he had fallen out of a window, which he had scratched through, like, and
Wait,
like
did he jump or was he pushed?
that's honestly it
How many-
was a
wait,
thing
did you have
around.
another
It was
cat?
around my I did, and it was a thing around my apartment for a little bit discussing where it's like those cats did not get along. But like so, and it's like, and it was heartbreaking, and it like, but his name was Time Cop, and I had this thing where it was like easy to sort of like just be like, hey, he went to another time. He
Yeah.
came into my life, like, because I found him outside my
You
apartment.
righted a bunch
one
of
day.
wrongs.
He came into my life, righted his wrongs. He had to go back to his time or another time, solve some more crimes. So that was fine. But this one is like, if one of my cats, Roman or Janet, dies, like, I'm going to find them. And it's like, I'm not gonna handle that well.
No.
But it's just a basic, like, it's very sad, because you like think about that. But I really I have to take him. I'm taking him to the vet, like, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's the basic.
Is that why you would ask? Had you asked me how much it cost to cremate an animal?
Yeah. That's just no.
Just
that
getting,
was just
getting a quote.
That was just another question. Yeah. Well, because that's one thing that I was like, think about that. The idea was like, what, like my cats are going to die. It's like it's part of the scheme.
Yeah.
But so it was like, what do I want to do after that? Like,
Because especially if you don't. Oh my God, look at that.
yeah.
She was going to town on her butt.
Yeah.
That's Bella the dog. But because it's hard too if you aren't expecting to stay at the same exact place. Like like I would never bury a pet on
at an apartment,
like at an apartment.
Like it just seems.
Is that
like,
part?
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's like cool. Do I have to like unbury them to bring them again with me?
And then allowed to like come and visit the grave
And then
site.
I know, yeah. And then there's the idea too of like, it's like, and it has crossed my mind, but like the idea of just like taxidermy. But then the idea is just like, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I'd like come in and I'd see my cat and I'd probably just break down.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be like a comfort. It would be
no,
like
it would be like a reminder that like
constant,
they're not
like,
there anymore.
And I can handle like a lovely little urn. That I see
it looks
on
like
there.
a little. It looks like an egg.
And I could be like, yeah, Roman. Like,
Got you, bud.
Got you, bud. But yeah, so I just have to take him to the vet. That's the thing.
I hope he's okay.
I hope so too. I like.
If you
Let
need
us know.
anything,
Yeah.
you let us know.
Thank you very
We'll
much,
be
guys.
there
If you need
in
a
a
ride,
minute.
you got a ride to the vet.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Cool.
if that falls through, though, I will come.
Yeah, hit us
That's
up.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because pets are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I love pets.
Because that's like
I love
it's an
animals.
important part of this. Like, and we all have them around us.
Yeah.
Like pets, and like, oh man, for depression, what an amazing. It's
When we get to my week grade, my dog will figure into
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
being okay. But I heard my roommates one day. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave. Do you mind taking care of Newt?" And they said yes. And then as I was leaving, I heard my roommate thank my dog for taking care of me, which made me a little weepy. I'm in a little weepy right now.
I know. Yeah.
That's also my thing that made me cry. No, but for real, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
They're great. Pets are cool.
They're wonderful.
Even
I
when
know.
they're a total pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, and they will be for sure. They will be because it's like, oh man, like these animals have like saved my life, like absolutely. Like I believe them being there is like calmed me down to like a crazy extent because like it really is like you have your freak out. But then, like, you're like, ah! But then when something reacts to it, you're like, oh, like, okay,
sorry. I didn't know
wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm putting it all in perspective right now.
I'm realizing I should reel it back there. Like,
I had a wicked manic freak out. So when I first got Newt likes to destroy things. Newt's my tiny dog.
Yeah, we've met. Yeah,
So
like, I don't know.
fucking
I was gonna
cute.
say I don't know if we'd mentioned.
Check out our hashtag Newt Rules on Instagram. There's
Alright,
a lot of
yeah.
pictures of her.
sweet.
But she would do this thing where she liked to eat my glasses when I was gone.
Yeah. Oh,
The one thing you need.
I need
literally
them to see.
the best.
I need them to see. So she ate 3 pairs of my glasses in 1 week, and one of them I had literally just got from Zenny. I had spent $35 on because ZennyOptical.com rules, and you get cheap glasses.
That's what I get on my glasses.
And I came home and she was acting weird, and I was like, "Why is she acting weird?" And I went to take off the pair of shitty glasses I wear to work at my painting job every day, and I looked for my brand new shiny glasses,
Your fancy ones.
and they were eaten. They were all destroyed and mangled, and I lost my mind. I had a very anxious day, and I literally chased my dog. I grabbed the broken glasses and I chased my dog through my apartment, and she was cowering. And like, I would never hit my dog or anything, but I was just enraged, like just screaming nonsense at her. Nobody was home, and she's so scared she ran under the coffee table. And I ran up to the coffee table, and like the Terminator, I just grabbed the edge of it, threw it across the room, like fully across the room into the wall. And she's just like cowering, and I screamed at her a bunch of like just nonsense, like and shook my broken glasses in her face. And that fucking asshole never ate my fucking glasses again, because I think she saw death like, in that moment. Like when that coffee table, like a thing, she is like a size of a building for her, and that coffee table, that safety, just flew across the room and was replaced by my red Irish screaming madman face.
It really is. It's going back to like the Jurassic Park thing of like, I'm just gonna run into this bathroom. I'll be safe.
Yeah. Nope.
No, absolutely not.
See you later, coffee table. All right, Jen. What made you cry this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we'll talk about the thing that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Which is a religious experience at a casino. But I guess this week I didn't have like a cry. I had more of like many meltdowns, and one specifically involving peeling shrimp.
Okay.
Yep. So I was like, I guess I'll make shrimp for dinner, shrimp tacos. And so I like, Abdul's doing stuff. I'm like, okay, I had like kind of a shitty day at work, kind of had like a shitty week. And then it's gonna be great. And then I pulled them out of the freezer. We had like frozen shrimp, and I was like, so bummed out. I was just like, I just don't know what it is in me. I can't fucking peel these shrimp right now. So I was just like, Abdul, you gotta come down here right now. And I made him peel all the shrimp, and I watched him the whole time with dead eyes. And I was like, thanks. And then I couldn't bring myself to get the shells out of the shrimp. He was like, you have to do at least one. And I was like, why are you like this? I fucking hate you.
You monster.
He's like, you have to do at least one. And I was like, that one's really big. I was like, I don't want to.
He gave you the big one.
I was like,
he's like,
they're all the same size. And I was like, that one's the biggest. You picked it because it's the biggest one. So I had like kind of a meltdown peeling shrimp. And then we have a garbage disposal, and you're not supposed to put shrimp shells in there. I Googled it, and so I did, and he was like, you have to take the shells out of the sink.
You're not supposed to. In the sink?
In the garbage disposal, you're not supposed to put them in there. Yeah, and it's also like, I think like it's on par with like, you're not supposed to put eggshells and stuff in there either, because like something can happen. Something mysterious.
Anything that makes a cool noise.
Anything that makes a really cool noise.
Which is probably good advice.
I put one pint glass in there, and I'm the asshole.
Yeah. And now it smells.
Actually, my roommate
filled it with fish juice before.
I got a pint glass full of shrimp shells, egg shells, and fingernail trippings.
Hey, I'm making my experimental noise record the way I want to make it.
With a smelly fucking house.
At Jen's sink is what it's called.
Stop coming over here to do this.
Stop inviting me over.
This is my art, Jen.
Start locking your door.
This is what I do.
But yeah, so that was
oh man.
I had to get the shells out of the sink, and I'm really leaning really heavily on barbecue tongs as a I use them to get stuff down. I use them sometimes to itch my back. I use them to like put stuff away and take things out of the garbage disposal because I'm really squeamish. And sometimes stuff will get stuck down there, and I'll be like, there's like a little piece of something gross in there, and I don't want it to hit on my hand. And so
I'm imagining you with mashed potatoes.
Just like I just felt like really feeble this week, and taking those shrimp shells out of the sink with barbecue tongs just really solidified like how much I was like, wow, I fucking suck this week. Like I'm so feeble. I just felt like the worst.
Now, I was actually gonna ask because you use the tongs because would you ever put your hand in there? Have you ever done that? In there?
Yeah.
Oh, have you done that?
Yeah.
In the garbage disposal?
Yeah.
Do you still get like the fear even though you know?
You know what's weird is sometimes when I do it, I think about what would happen if I just turned it on.
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah, of course.
It's like an impulse control
and
thing.
I think that's the fear. It's like the fear is that your hand will just shoot out and be like, ha, fucker,
Gotcha.
Also, have you ever
The Phoenix rise.
Left hand was always superior to right hand, and I proved it.
now you just wait? Did you still have a hand or not in this scenario?
I got two.
You got two?
No, the other hand's
two?
gone because
Yeah.
the left hand killed it.
Yeah, totally. Now you have to learn how to. You're gonna get fucking pen all over your hand when you write.
Oh, my right. Yeah. Oh, my right hand was definitely murdered. But by whom?
It's awkward to
But
do this.
it is really
Oh,
awkward.
yeah. Writing with the other hand.
We're all writing with our other hands.
I guess I'll give it a.
No, you know.
I'll give it a fucking whirl.
Quit
Well,
lying to
that's
the
my.
world.
I also guess I don't really know my right and my left hand too much because I was like, this feels fine.
Yeah,
It feels fine. It's my right hand. Jen, real good.
Yeah. See, I feel like this is pretty much how I write anyway.
Yeah, I've seen you do that signature. Just a circle on a piece of paper.
Ah,
Eric,
yes.
can you sign this important piece
Of
of paper?
course. Well, everyone uses an X.
Circle gets a square. Worst joke on this podcast yet.
I don't know. We've had some bad ones.
Some real stinking.
Oh man,
All right.
I do appreciate that your cry was peeling one shrimp.
Just
was-
one.
When you
Yeah.
when you said peeling shrimp skin or shrimp shell or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the fuck
it was
they're
the
called.
singular.
It was just a singular. It was just one. And you know what? It wasn't even like I was weepy or are there any actual tears, but you know when you when you see like a little kid who's like just trying to who's had maybe too much ice cream,
Yeah.
maybe too much fun, and
Just
they're
trying to
melting
keep it
down
too
after
mu-
a long day, and there's no real tears, but there's and Abdul knew that I was not crying. It was just like it was just like the groan that I always do,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like upset. And I get upset at like one stupid thing, and that sort of like solidifies my whole mood. And that was like, I was just like, God damn it, like you fucking can't do anything right today, Jen, and you can't even peel a goddamn shrimp. But I peeled one shrimp.
Yep.
Crab,
You did it.
Crab made me.
That's
That's
good.
fine.
But he gave you the big one.
But he gave me the
That's the
biggest
part.
one, and that's why he's a sick fuck.
You did it on purpose.
Help me out of this relationship. He's not in the room.
He's not listening. Hey,
Jen, we'll
sound
just take
engineer.
you and all these microphones and this computer out to the car. And we'll just get the fuck out of here. Ready?
Oh, road trip. Yeah.
Some more Maddie T sound effects.
Hop in my car.
Maybe my mind just processes sound differently. Because I always feel like my impressions of sound things.
Yeah. Let me
are right
just.
spot on.
Like it's like colorblind, but with noises.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let me just.
nothing sounds like that.
Let me open this old creaky door. Bleep blop boop.
Hold on, yes, these guys. Bachuga!
Man, we are good.
Yeah, it's
We
a
are
really good.
great.
This is a really good podcast.
Compelling.
People. It's compelling stuff.
Really makes you think.
Yeah.
All right.
Or it doesn't.
Doesn't it all?
But that's the part. That's the real
That
kicker.
makes you think.
That's like, am I thinking?
All right, you guys want to talk about grading our weeks?
Yeah, let's do a week grade.
Who wants to go first? I already went first today.
Yeah. I guess I'll go.
Do it.
Yeah. All right. So you know what I'll do? I'll tell you what happened. I did tell you guys this earlier, but I'll tell you about it, and then you guys can
Okay,
grade
we're
my
gonna grade
week.
each other
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
week.
let's grade each other's
Yeah.
week. All right. Let's see.
This
All right.
sounds we'll be kinder to each other than
Yeah,
we
it
would
probably
be to
will
ourselves.
be.
Yeah.
So it was a weird week. It was it was depressed heavy, but here's the thing that's happening is that my quote unquote mania is like fading in, and I can like feel it. Like I can sort of like feel like the mood like change, but it's like it's a slow like and sort of thing. So I'm guessing in 2 days I'll probably be like I'm invincible. Like, but like yeah, my mania is still basically like the concept of like it really is just more like depression and then apathy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like where it's like like oh yeah, it's like yeah. This is it. But what are you gonna do?
It's just a slow crawl up and then a little tumble down.
Yeah, and the tumble down. But like, so it is around the same level, but there is like, there's a lack of like caring, which to me is like, it is the mania where it's like where I can get the most stuff done because like I'm not second guessing myself as much because I am, but then when it happens, it's like, yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Well, you're gonna die, so like that's part of the gig. So like, and you won't. Doesn't matter. That's it. Yeah, like nothing anyone does matter.
No, I have that selective,
That's the mania.
that selective nihilism where I'm just like, you know what? I'm deciding right now. This doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, this won't be in any history book. This guy at work I'm dealing with will not be in any. Our interaction isn't going to make it
real famous.
It's not going to make it in a story.
Yeah.
But so one of the bad days of the week, I woke up at around I think it was about like 10, which is late for me. Like I usually am up at around like 7. But so I woke up at 10, and then I had 2 blueberry bagels immediately, and right after that, half of a birthday cake, which was my birthday cake, which there was a full one of, which is another like element to it.
I mean, to be fair, you took a whole month to finish that cake, Eric. So
I didn't take a bite of it until.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the completion between the creation of the cake and when
know,
the cake is no more. That's all that matters.
That's it. So like the time frame is not an issue there.
Yeah.
Because it felt like an issue.
Time
to me.
stands still until someone takes a slice.
Time stands still if it's in tin foil.
That's true,
right?
yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
a fact?
yeah.
That's
Makes
a
the frosting nice and tinny.
that's a
Yep.
refrigerator fact.
Another hot refrigerator fact.
Just put your milk in tin foil. It'll stay.
I keep spilling it, but it's so
Yeah, I know,
fresh.
yeah. Hey, I got like 3-year-old yogurt in there. Take a bite. Chewy.
It's chunkier than I remember.
Yeah.
That's tinfoil, dude. It's
I
bad.
know, yeah.
And this has been another refrigerator fact.
Fact. Yeah, so there was, and I accomplished some of the things that I wanted to do with bare bones. Like I did radio show thing, but I like really last 40 minutes I was like music. I did several bits, didn't have enough time to fill it, and then I was just like, an album is good. People like to listen to an album at 3:30 in the morning. Do you have any Frank Comstock? I do. Sorry, I didn't get your phone call though, because I'm not awake. But we didn't have the episode to edit, so I don't know if that was good or bad for me. Like, so I had like something where I didn't have like to do, so I had more time to just be in the apartment. And then there was the positive of the cleaning the cat. And then there was the like, I was like, oh, my brushing him has killed him. Like,
That's where he was getting all of his...
I've Lennied this cat.
He was getting his nutrients from his owl's fur.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
If you brush them, they usually die.
They usually die pretty quickly. So just don't clean your cats. They'll do it. Just trust them.
They'll get there.
They'll
in
get
their
there.
own time.
So I guess that would be my week. Grade away, you harsh.
I'm gonna give you a C+.
C plus?
Sounds like you did all right.
I'm still creeping up.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm creeping
Yeah.
up.
I really want to second that because I also have I'm like, oh, that like I understand like the lack in productivity or like not feeling like quite like you're giving,
Yeah.
I personally gave like 10% effort this whole week and so I get that and that's like a really big bummer, but I guess I have like maybe a more like fucked up way of grading because like I'm like, oh shit, he gets to eat a whole half of a cake.
I know.
That
Well,
is
here's
good.
Here's the part that was
You
like
lucky dog.
Self-care.
there was no
Like that's like a good day
I
for
had
me.
to
if I can get my hands on a whole fucking cake.
I stopped myself at the half.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I stopped myself
That's
at the
a-
half,
Can't eat a
and
whole
that's
cake.
that's like because I was like not done with the cake. Like, I wasn't finished with this cake, but I got called into work.
Nothing is over.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm coming back for you.
the fact that you had it for like a whole month.
Whoa. Yeah. That is funny, Eric.
Thanks, man.
Hey, there's no cake in my fridge. All right, let's go. I challenge you to an eating you contest.
Just you challenged me. I went over the top. I just had to go over the top.
Yeah,
I
no.
told my hat back once I went over the top.
Yeah.
Every time I take out the tinfoil, it's like flipping a switch.
So C+.
Yeah, give me
I'm
it.
happy about that. That's
Might bump me to B- just for that. For that over the top impression.
But what I'm happy about this, and thank you too very much, is that this is the first grade where I wouldn't have to show it to my parents.
So proud of you.
Things are working.
Oh, so it's my
Your turn.
Okay, so are you guys grading my week?
I mean,
You
Or
don't
I
have to do that.
comfortable-
That was
are you
that was just
comfortable
what
with
I
that?
went
Okay.
with. You can
Well, I
grade your
mean,
own week if
you guys,
want.
I'll let you guys know what I was thinking, but you guys can also maybe throw a letter or two in there. If you,
Okay,
yeah,
so
if you feel
we'll
like
hear
it.
what your grade is, and then we'll politely agree or disagree.
Sure.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So,
But we'll agree. Don't worry.
yeah. So I guess, oh God, got some no notes. So this week I had one of these weeks that I often have, which is basically where I do not remember any of it. It's like
Yeah.
amnesia. I just
A zone out.
definitely
like-
went to work. Definitely was eating. Pretty sure. I have, come out of a stupor with Doritos crumbs
Yeah.
all around my face. Ugh. Heartburn. Just not feeling good. But, yeah. Had a lot of weird fucking dreams this week. Was really tired. Was told at work that they will no longer be contributing to anyone's 401k, and I will not be getting a raise this year. So that was kind of a bummer. I also still have not gotten my raise from 9 months ago. So I started looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Just because, I can be dicked around in Worcester. I don't need to go to Southborough to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can.
Like-
Worcester can do that for you.
Also,
Yeah.
when you like feel yourself actually physically hitting the ceiling at your job, it's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess I shouldn't write this out any longer.
Exactly.
And like,
So-
no, especially when it's like I didn't hit the ceiling hit me as it was
Yeah.
lowered to
I don't
where
know,
I
man.
was.
I still think there's a chance I could become president of McDonald's.
Yeah. There's
I
no
work
hope.
for Ray Kroc. Just gotta scam your way.
No,
to
I
the
don't
top.
eat your food.
Another great Michael
That's
Keaton
not
role.
true. I eat your
love
food.
their-
I might get McDonald's right after this podcast.
Yeah, I want to
fucking
get
love-
McDonald's.
Hey, you guys want to go get McDonald's?
Fucking love McDonald's.
Yeah.
All right, let's
McDonald's
stop
is
this
good.
fucking podcast and go get some
I'll
McDonald's.
tell you what. Even like I'm gonna say something like that is gonna be, I'm sure controversial. Controversial.
Yeah, lay it out.
It's the concept of when they discussed what Donald Trump's meal was, which was
Oh, I
2
haven't.
Big Macs, 2 filet of fish, and a chocolate shake.
He ate that in one sitting?
That's
What the
his like meal that he gets.
What the
What
fuck?
a fucking champion.
That's what I thought. Everybody on TV is just like, this maniac's eating that. I was like, that sounds like a delicious meal, and I'm afraid to order it because people know that
'Cause
order
it's the,
now.
It's
And
the
also,
Trump,
like,
it's
yeah,
a Trump
it's the
order.
Trump order.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm no filet of fish fan, but also like all these people who are hating. Have you ever eaten 2 Big Macs in a row? It's a
it's hard.
daunting
It's
task.
very.
I
yeah.
think the only way to do it would be like, and to handle that aspect of that
To wash
food
it down
is
with
to
a
go
filet
like,
of fish.
and no, like is to go like
a filet
Big
of fish
Mac,
mashed into a
fish,
chocolate shake.
Big Mac, fish, and the idea is like the different taste would be easier to like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
do.
a palate
But
cleanser.
that's that's a champ. That's a
Yeah.
champ's move. A
I
champ's
mean, I typically get. What do you usually get?
I have gone through, and again, when I go, it's been more of like an actual like Big Mac
Yeah.
thing. Like
I do love
that.
Big Mac.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I've gotten better at eating it. When I first got it, I was so sloppy at it.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, me
terrible.
too.
I used to blame the sandwich
Well, I
too.
always get extra mac sauce too, so it's always
Oh,
because I
man.
like eating the mac saucy lettuce at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot with my hands like an animal.
I used to have I have a stretched septum
Gauge.
ring. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
it's called. I have a stretched septum, and so like I used to have like
McFlurry.
this huge fucking like door knocker thing on my face, and it was I think I switched to something smaller the first time I had gotten like a Big Mac in a long time, because I literally got, it was just like a spoon that would just kept continually putting Big Mac sauce all over my face. It was getting crusted like into my piercing, and then like later on I would smell like Big Mac sauce, and I would just be like,
Not a big problem.
So it was just like everywhere.
I dream
it was, like,
of dating a
just,
girl who smells like
it was
Big
just
Mac
coming.
sauce.
It was coming out of my nostrils. It was getting, but only the mouth area, because that's what it would be. Only the mouth and nose area. It was so fucking gross. But I mean, the thing is that like I truly didn't mind.
Yeah.
I was alone.
Oh yeah,
I was just being a little, But I usually can.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when you order the Big Mac, you sign the contract.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know what
I'm
you're
ready to
getting,
be dipped
yeah.
in sauce.
I'm
Dip
ready.
me.
I'm ready.
Dip me.
Dip me.
I got my nose scoop.
I got my nose scoop, saving it for later.
Yeah.
It was just, I just learned to take out all my piercings before I had a Big Mac. It was fine.
Yeah,
Which
That's kind of what I
yeah.
do. Typically, I get completely undressed and then eat it.
Yeah, make sure I
I
have.
just have a sheet with a hole cut in for my head.
It's my eating sheet.
Yeah, it's my eating sheet.
Oh, the
Actually-
story that eating sheet can tell.
I'm just gonna say then Crab be so mad at me.
Don't reveal anything that'll compromise your relationship on this podcast.
No, but everyone can just speculate wildly about what I would say. But it may or may not be a shared towel that we wipe our faces with.
You know what? Full confession. My parents didn't want to buy paper towels when we were kids. They thought it was less effective, so we always just had a wet hand cloth on the table while we ate dinner that we could all wipe our faces with. Don't judge me. I didn't make the policy, they did.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting fucking spots in my eyes.
you two millionaires with
That's
your
actually a really
with
good
your
idea.
washcloths and towels.
Was it just one?
Yeah, just one for the whole table. Sometimes there were 7 of us eating.
when we
Kim
got
and Ken, if you're listening to this, you fucked me up, man.
Sometimes me and Abdul do, like, when we sit here, that's the whole thing, is like we have each end of a towel.
Lady in the
Lady
tramping.
Yeah, lady in the
towel.
tramping
Face
towel.
wiping towel.
A face wiping towel.
yeah.
Yeah. He might sell me.
We interrupted you. This is a big tangent.
It doesn't matter. This is way better than
Yeah.
my week was. I don't remember a goddamn thing about it.
Well, once you get McDonald's, you
Yeah.
sign the contract. You got to talk about them.
Yeah. I love McDonald's. But
Thank
you know what?
for the free McDoubles, McDonald's.
Yeah.
I feel like
All
they.
the Arch Deluxe and hot dogs we want.
Do they have hot dogs at McDonald's?
Not anymore.
Well, that's good. I would probably die.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a thing I need in my life.
So what was your grade, Jen? Final.
Well,
Or do you have any like?
yeah, do
I
you
know
have
you
anything
like
more
you
about
were
your
basically mentioning the aspect that it was like, no respect, like a living week.
yeah, it was
Like,
a
you
week
lived.
of being alive. Like,
Yeah,
good
you-
for me.
You
I'm.
did the
I did the bare
crapped.
minimum.
Like,
yeah, exactly. I did all like the basic necessity things, no extra.
Yep. My skin fell out and a bunch regrew.
Yeah, I had a
Like,
scab on my. I still currently kind of have a scab on my chin that I had all week, and I was just like from a little pimple, and it
Yeah.
really bummed me out. And I was just like, nothing's me. It's in the worst fucking spot in the whole world. Doesn't matter.
It just
But-
looks like a LeBray piercing. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, it's cool.
Looks like you love Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Sweet LeBray.
I hang my lunchbox from here.
Also, I'm wiping my hands on my tablecloth right now.
Good
That's what it's
tablecloth
there for.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it really is. But I kind of had maybe. Actually, can't remember any high points of it. Did remember that when I have a freak out, I do like to spell things out with the NATO alphabet. That kind of helps me to pass the time. So you just like pick a. I sometimes do it when I like look around and I'll be like, table. I'll be like, now I can't remember any of this.
What is it?
The
The navel is what you said.
NATO.
NATO.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you do like it's like the phonetic sounds where you. So I used to do it when I would be driving and like you look at the signs and you spell things out. Like Worcester is like whiskey, Oscar, Romeo,
Okay.
Charlie, Echo, Sierra, Tango, Echo, Romeo. So
Oh yeah.
it's a good like
J is Juliet.
to calm you down. It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Totally.
My
And
my
this
neighbors
mic.
have a mug.
Oh, really?
They have a mug. Yeah. That is a very nice mug to drink out of. Like it's something I look at like every time I'm over there and never. I remember Juliet.
Juliet, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's a really good one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool because Romeo was the other one.
Yeah.
So smart. So smart, those. And they had flags, right? They have different... Oh, because you know what it is? Because they use that... It's a sailing mug.
Oh.
And so they have different flags for what each, like... Yeah, is...
Do they want to come to my yacht selling practice?
That's what, yeah. That's why I was like... That's why I was like...
Do they want to be a partner?
That's why I was like, oh, yes, the naval code. You mean...
The naval code.
The naval alphabet.
No,
I
but
get
yeah,
it.
so it's just like you ever have like thoughts that won't stop. It's just like a good way to just push those out is to Or I heard that when you do have that talking in your head, you excuse me. That was a weird
threw up
burp.
a little?
I threw up a lot. No one can see it. It's all down the front.
Oh my god. This is a smelly podcast.
So smelly. But like
They drank all that Big Mac sauce.
Yeah, I know.
I read online that it's great for podcast
gotta-
voices.
Hey, I got this new Yankee candle. It's called Bong Water.
Actually, we've spilled bong water in so many parts. Now it's 4 rooms in the house, so we really just need to get like a less wobbly
Or
one.
just finish it. And
Yeah,
just
Chris in
Finish
the
it,
whole
like
house.
drink it.
Yeah.
You guys all finish it now.
smoke weed out of it and then drink it.
It's like a delicious, like it's like a chaser.
Nom, nom, nom.
It does smell surprisingly bad, but that's pretty much it for my week. I would give it a being alive, just regular
Yeah.
75C.
A
Basic
C, passing.
Passing.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll concur with the
Yeah,
C.
it sounds
It
like
sounds
a
a
C.
C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a fucking C.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's passing. You passed.
I'm here.
Yeah, you did it.
This was the highlight of my week. This is what kept me going.
Yeah.
I was gonna see
That-
you guys.
That was really funny that you mentioned the idea. So that's a practice of like when you're stressed out, just saying
That's what
that alphabet.
That's what I do because I have I know I have ADHD and I think like all the time and I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna think about something, it should be something that's not gonna bum me out. So
Yeah.
sometimes I like figured out a couple different things. So like if I can't fall asleep, what I do is I do like addition tables because they're really easy. You don't have to think about them, and I do them just like, and then it makes me fall asleep because it's
Yeah.
like not enough for me to. It's like I have to think hard enough where I can't think about another thing,
Right.
but I don't think so much that it then keeps me awake. So I'm
Yeah.
just always trying to find that one thing that like keeps my mind at like a real steady C
Oh man.
grade.
Oh, that's great. Oh, it's just funny because I think it was 2 days ago, I was like having like a freak out in my apartment, like pacing back and forth, and I ended up like in the bathroom, like just saying the alphabet, like but alternating, trying to do an Australian and then a New Zealand accent. Like the slight difference between like the two. So it was like A, B, C, D, E, and then I'd be like A, B, C, D, E. Like it's just like higher pitch and quicker.
I can get behind that. Yeah, totally.
W is the best. It's like W or like W.
Good.
So that was
good.
like,
That's a
but it
really
was just
good-
like back and forth. And I
Yeah.
did that like 5 or 6 times, and I was like, okay, it's time to walk out of the bathroom. You did it.
Congratulations.
That's so in the same vein. I love
That's
that.
that makes me feel a lot better about my weird name.
Yeah,
'Cause, like,
Everybody's doing it.
everyone.
I just roll around on the floor in my office and just like spell,
Yeah.
spell my heart out.
Spell.
I'm spelling.
Spelling. Leave me alone. I'm spelling.
Yeah.
That might be why you're not getting that raise.
They must think I'm a
Every time they
witch.
come to my desk, they're like, "What are you doing? You fucking spell it? Are you spelling again?"
Beta. Corey.
Daniel,
Delinda.
Eric. It's all just my friends.
Filbert.
Yep. Rachel Ross. No.
Damn it. That's right.
Yeah.
It's not the X card. We're not supposed to talk about the alphabet anymore.
No. Yeah. I threw it down.
That's just your fucking signature. I'm
That's
gonna keep talking.
That's the O card.
Oh no. The O card.
The O card is keep going.
Yeah.
Keep
going. It's the full circle card.
bring it back around.
Oh.
But yeah, so that was my week. How's your week?
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Sick.
Monday was okay. I took a Benadryl on Sunday night because I was at a friend's house who had a bunch of cats.
Yeah.
Which knocked me out.
Yep.
And then I woke up very groggily because I had a bunch of friends in town for the weekend who were staying at my apartment, and I wanted to see them all off, and I knew 2 of them were leaving early. So I drove 45 minutes at 8 in the morning, really groggy on Benadryl. Do not remember that car drive.
Ooh.
Bet you don't.
Yeah. And then got home and was like, oh, they're not getting up yet. I'll just lay down for a minute. And then vaguely remember wishing them well on their drive home instead of getting up to see them off, just like in a coma in my bed. Was very groggy all day. And that was like the start of my depression. So then I drove my other friend to the airport. We had sushi. It was cool. Worked at Ralph's. And then the real depression set in on Tuesday. So from Tuesday till today, I literally did nothing that didn't involve my friends actively engaging me or that I was required to do. I literally did nothing productive this week. I barely read anything. I got this anxiety workbook, which I guess we'll talk about afterwards. I read just the introductory chapter, which is much less than I wanted to do this week.
You're cured.
The highlights of my week were I went to Patron's with my buddy Archie, who we should have on the podcast soon.
Yeah.
He's a neurotic boy and a sweetheart. And the waitress was like talking to us. Some guy recognized us from our band and was talking to us, and then he left, and the waitress was like, oh, where does he know you from? So I explained it, and she was like, oh, I used to sing in a rock band in Mexico. We used to do like Strokes and Rage Against the Machine covers. And I was like, oh, cool. And she like showed us pictures, and so like flirting with her a little bit. And I asked her what her favorite band is, and she said Guns N' Roses, which is weird. I'm wearing a Guns N' Roses t-shirt right now, but I was like,
because of that conversation.
I'm just wearing it every day.
Every day until you see her again.
And then them too. The best part of it, so I was like, oh, that's cool. And then we're sitting there, we're eating, and she like comes up to us and she goes, yo, do you guys like Papa Roach? And I was like, nope. And she's like,
wait, the band or the Roach?
It's the
Papa
biggest
Roach,
one.
not the band.
He's a chill bro.
Is super dope.
And I was like, no. And then she's like, well, none of my friends will go with me. I need someone to go with. Do you want to go to Papa Roach with me? And she's like, they're playing with A Day to Remember. And I was like, no, I definitely don't want to do that. And she was like visibly bummed. I should have been like, do you want to do anything but go see Papa Roach?
Although that's,
you were just like
that's
blind.
Like so perfect though. The idea, which is like, that certainly will be. If you go with this lady to go see Papa Roach, it will be a day to remember.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
so I looked up the concert online afterwards. And Papa Roach is opening for A Day to Remember. They're not even headlining. And it's at Songus Arena, and it's $60 for
Jesus
tickets.
Christ.
So I definitely.
oh, so she wasn't even offering.
No,
She didn't have
I thought
She
the
wanted
idea
a
was-
date to go to see Papa
Oh,
Roach.
that's
You weren't
completely-
trying to
I
drop
thought she was like.
120
I thought
No,
she was like
not to see the
on a
Papa
couple
Roach.
ticks.
Yeah.
Cut my life into pieces.
broken home.
So yeah, so other than
Funniest music video of all time.
that, I laid around a
He
lot.
beats up a sandbox. It's the greatest.
On Friday, I woke up and went with my friend Andy to breakfast, and then I immediately got back into bed.
Yeah.
I stayed in bed all day, and then at 10 o'clock, at 9:30, it was like, I'll take a shower. It'll make me feel better. It did not. And then I was like, I should force myself to go out because I have the night off. And I went to Ralph's for 1 hour, and then was overwhelmed and went immediately back home and ate fried chicken in bed by myself.
Oh, shit.
So
Guys, if you ever bummed out, I'm always over here watching mostly Jackie Chan movies. So
I mean, that rules. He's a hero.
yeah, so if you guys are having
Did you guys
a
hear
bummed
that
out night-
rumor that he like runs a triad gang in Hong Kong?
Really? I
He
have
got, like,
not heard
supposedly he got like arrested and he had like hand grenades on him while he was there, and like supposedly Jackie Chan's like involved in the Hong Kong criminal underworld or something.
I mean, if he told me he was sorry once, I'd believe him.
that. Yeah.
If he was
Thank
like,
you, Jack.
if he was just like, sorry.
And then jumped through a car window.
That's my impression of Jackie
It's a really
Chan.
good.
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's good.
Thank you.
Also, I'm so sorry I cut you off.
No, that's okay. No,
What kind of-
so that was my week.
I
It
love
was,
fried chicken.
I just got wings over Worcester,
Nice.
and it was subpar as usual.
Yeah.
They
always.
were rude to me on the phone.
Yeah, they always order online.
I asked for first. They didn't
Never
answer.
talk to the chicken people.
It was only
never ever.
midnight.
Yeah.
And they already were trying not to answer the phone, which is their favorite move.
Yeah.
So I called 3 times before I got someone to take my order. I should have just ordered online, like you said. And I asked for sauce on the side when I get bone in because it's the only way they'll be crispy when they get to my house.
Yep.
And she gave me a lot of attitude about it. And then all of the sauces were spilled all over the carton. So it was just like a disaster. And like it didn't make me feel better. It just made me feel way shittier.
No, you just
'Cause
felt
I
like
ate wings over Worcester at 12:30 at night by myself while watching. Oh, I was watching something terrible too. Oh, I was watching Weekend at Bernie's too. I literally had all of the movies in the world to watch because of piracy, and I watched Weekend at Bernie's too while eating fried chicken, while Newt literally sat there and judged me because I wasn't giving her any. And so instead of like being pumped about my fried chicken, she was just like ashamed of me.
Maybe she was just more upset with what you were watching.
I mean, she's like, fuck this
But
movie.
hey, man, there's always room for Jell-O. That movie was my first drive-through.
Cool.
I went to go. It was a
You
double.
saw it at Wendy's?
You drove
You
through
saw it at
it?
Wendy's?
A drive-through.
Wow.
Yeah, it was real quick.
They were watching it
It
at
was real
Wendy's.
quick. Yeah, you remember drive-through movies?
Yeah.
They were good. So, yeah, I went to the other one, the real one, the real thing. I went to it was
The car hop.
Weekend at
movies?
Bernie's 2, and So I Married an Axe Murderer.
I love
As
So
the-
I Married an Axe
Yeah,
Murderer.
and
too.
I mean Weekend at Bernie's. I mean he dances. That body dances sorta by walking. Man.
Yeah,
Isn't
so-
it? That's. I'm sorry, but yeah. It's like whenever it's like whenever you try and like oh I take matters into my own hands and like you said like it's my night off. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do something. This will be good for myself. I'm gonna take the right step, and then just like even when that we're just like okay, well then I'll get chicken.
Yeah.
And watch a.
I'm gonna do something.
Watch whatever. I'll watch something
will
I
make me
want to
feel
watch.
better?
It would be great. Yeah. And then Newt, thinking it's her movie night.
Yeah. She's like, yo, I wanted to watch Airbud again.
She was like, "You gonna give me some of that chicken?" No. Well, then we're watching Weekend at Bernie's too.
She did choose
My
it.
choice. It's my night.
She loves voodoo, that's why.
Yeah.
We watched Serpent in the Rainbow and Weekend at Bernie's too.
And then the
And
Frog
The
Princess.
Craft.
The Frog Princess.
Is that voodoo?
right? There's a voodoo. I haven't
Must
seen it. It's
be.
a Disney movie, but I know there's like I think there's a voodoo priest in
Yeah,
it.
that's true. Most Disney movies have a voodoo
Yeah,
priest
yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
They
don't know.
asked us to say that.
Thanks, Disney.
Yeah.
You need this sponsorship to promote your things. Yeah, so I'd say my week was probably like a D plus maybe.
A D plus.
Yeah, I just felt
Yeah.
like there was a lot of things I wanted to do this week and a lot of like projects, and
Yeah.
I did 0% of them.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, if we
yeah, you
do you
feel
want
free to-
our jump in?
Yeah.
I'll still give you because it's even as you want it. I'll give you the lowest grade, but I'm gonna bump you up to a C minus
Nice. All right, creeping.
because you made efforts and stuff like that.
I
That
guess.
was the like. I mean, like the idea of just like
Yeah.
hearing about that Saturday is like and the unfortunate turns that
Yeah.
it take, but the aspect too that like even like you were still like after
Oh.
starting from Tuesday, like you're like I'm going to go out.
Yeah.
Like so you made the
Force
effort,
myself.
and that's where we can give you the
Also, my
bump up there.
horrible week continued to today because I woke up on time, was still feeling bummed out. Yesterday, actually, honestly, I was so bummed out before work that I almost called you guys to cancel today, but I knew I didn't want to do that. That it was my
I almost did the
crazy
same
brain. Yeah.
thing,
I
but
was
then
like,
I was
I
like,
should-
no.
I was almost hoping this morning you would.
yeah. And I knew it was my crazy
I
brain
was
being
crying
like,
about
oh,
my cat.
you
Like,
have something-
And I was bummed out that I didn't get any. That I have no recuperation time this weekend. I did have
Yeah.
like a fun with my friends, but like, oh, I missed that whole part in my grading. Okay, I only count Monday through Friday anyway.
Yeah.
But
Jen had her friends over all weekend.
My friends came to see me.
They
Hooray!
left
Yeah.
this fucking raspberry-filled chocolate frosted
Thanks,
donut.
Retta.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love you. Thank you for donuts.
We're not eating it right
Thank-
now.
we're not eating
The
it.
boys-
the boys were not
the
tempted
boys
by it,
are
like
not
you
tempted.
said.
Thanks for bringing most of the donuts.
Yeah.
I see 3 halves missing.
I'm actually disturbed that it's even touching the other donuts.
think we need
But
to-
yeah, so and then I was late because I left a little early to pick you up, Eric, and then the ATM that I don't really go to. Sometimes the door doesn't work because it's on Grafton Hill and they just don't take care of it. So I couldn't get into the ATM to deposit my money, so I had to drive to Park Ave, which made me late. Which is like, I was telling Eric, like maybe 5 or 10 years ago, my whole day would be ruined because I was 7 minutes late to pick you up. But I've come a long way, so
Yeah.
I'm just like mildly mentally perturbed for the rest of the day. Also, I just found out that I told someone I would be their model for some pictures, and I forgot about it until they just texted me. So I'm feeling kind of awful about that. But there's no way I can do that today.
Well,
Like,
she won't hear this until weeks.
Yeah.
sorry, Lori.
She'll get the
you
news then.
definitely won't ever listen to this, so it doesn't matter. Also, I haven't texted you back yet because I'm just terrified of this confrontation. But yeah, so it followed me. My bad week has continued. But thank you for the kind grade.
Yeah.
I second that.
And the fact
Grade.
that
grade.
I'm
not
still
the
going to keep it at C- too, because although I do understand the anxiety, you are getting a text being like, "Hey, I'd like to take pictures of you as a model."
I guess that's true. It's just because I wear ridiculous clothes for my rock bands.
Yeah.
But yes, it's not because I'm pretty.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Well, thank you.
No
I think
problem.
you are both pretty as well.
Thanks.
Hey,
I actually, Loretta has taken a picture of me in my most trash outfit, and she started painting it in giant oil.
Cool.
And I'm just like, I'm terrified for when that's done. You're such a beautiful painter. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be too
for my
real.
self-esteem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. It looks
Please don't show
just
it to me.
like me.
Okay, so we can talk about my
let's
just really
do it.
quick my religious experience that I had with a casino.
Yep.
So
At or with, or both.
I would say with
Okay.
because I actually it's kind of deep situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on my first vacation as an adult in last May or last June. Me and Abdul went to Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
And it was great. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And we did a bunch of cool stuff. We went to a bunch of casinos and a lot of museums.
Cool.
Surprising amount of museums.
Oh yeah, there's like
We went to a secret gallery inside of a Louis Vuitton.
not too
It
many
was
people know this,
awesome.
but there's a little bit of history in Las Vegas.
No shit.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't mention that
Yep.
at all.
Yeah, no, yeah, they don't. They hardly mention it. They're very subtle about it.
Yeah, they are very subtle.
Very subtle.
That mafia museum.
Also, maybe you can spend your money a place or two.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money.
Yeah,
I kept pushing it.
you went for it.
I won nothing back. But yeah, so Abdul and I went to. There's like two different parts of Las Vegas. There's like the Strip now, which is technically not Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an unincorporated city called Paradise. And then we went to Old Las Vegas, which is where the
yeah.
thing on Fremont Street.
It's the light show that goes on top of you, and like all the things that you see from like classic Las Vegas, like the cowboy pointing to himself.
Anything
that's in
that's
Old Vegas.
anything that's filmed in Las Vegas, they always use Old Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're not using.
Yeah,
the,
they
like,
don't use
They
the-
don't use the roller coaster.
Yeah,
valleys,
fucking
like,
not at all. They just use, and so it was. I was like, we went to the Neon Museum, which was awesome, and then we spent the night in Old Las Vegas, and on our way, we took the bus back. We were pretty drunk, and we're on the bus, and it's it's night out, and everything's like lit up, and I look over, and there's Circus. It's this shitty looking casino.
I know exactly. Right by Slots of Fun.
Yep, right by Slots of Fun.
They have the. Please, I want you to go ahead because I hope you're going to mention what I hope you're going to mention.
Is it Lucky the Clown?
No, okay, I was going to mention at Slots of Fun, they have the world's largest, cheapest hot dog that you can get. It's like, I'm trying. I can't. Well, how long is this?
That's like a foot.
About
Yeah.
like a foot? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about a foot long for 99 cents.
Wow.
And it tastes
That's a
like,
lot. That's a lot of meat.
It tastes like bad chicken.
Yeah.
It is exactly. I've gotten it twice.
I was surprised at a lot of differences in food while we were there. Not a lot of fresh fruit.
Really?
Yep.
Really? In Las Vegas?
But you're allergic to it all anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I still ordered it to see. Yeah.
Yeah, to see if I'm still allergic. Am I still
Am I
allergic
still
in
allergic
Las
here?
Vegas?
I wanted to know. But so we were on the bus.
Yeah.
Me and Abdul and we had been walking like a lot, and and I was like, oh my god. I was like, looked outside, and there's he's called Lucky the Clown, and he's 123 feet of just like blow your fucking mind, like light bulbs, and it's so bright and it's huge. It's like a 12 or 13 story building, and it's giant, and I'm looking at it. We're stopped, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life. And I'm like welling up. I'm like, I want to go in there. I'm like drunk on a bus in Las Vegas, and I'm just like, I want to go in there so bad. And Abdul's like, I'm so tired. Like we gotta go back to the hotel, and like maybe if we get a chance, like we'll get to go back there before we leave. And so he like got like a stress fracture in his foot, and so we couldn't really do like a ton more walking.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really caused a rift in our relationship because we never got to go back to Circus for me to get to go inside. And so
Oh,
the
yeah,
past-
so that's
so
why
I didn't
you didn't
get-
even get to
I didn't get to go in.
see the option
I didn't get to go
of the
in.
largest, cheapest hot dog.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to go in there, and I was just like, and it's not his fault. I just didn't know, and I didn't know how much it was going to like be like, oh my god. And so when we got back home, I like was pissed at myself. I was so fucking pissed. I should have just gone. It's hot as balls there, and I should have just like walked down there and gone to see it, and I didn't. And I've had recurring dreams about getting there and being taken away before I get to go there. And when we were at the Neon Museum, the tour guide was like, the best steak in Las Vegas is at Circus. And cheapest. And he was, and
There is no way that's true. There is no way that is true.
it's just chicken with paint.
Oh, no.
Painted like a steak.
I mean, they have the best steak.
Steak.
It's similar to steak. It's similar to steak.
For legal reasons,
Best-
you can't call it steak.
You have
Yeah,
the best
like
steamed
milk.
steak.
I love a good steamed steak.
And so when I have these dreams, all I hear is the best steak in Las Vegas. The best steak in Las Vegas. Circus.
That's haunting.
And so now I have a fucking Google alerts for Circus in case they have to demolish it.
Yeah.
I've got $800 in savings, and if that day comes where they
You're
say
gonna
that they're
go
going to
before,
demolish
like,
it,
yeah.
I'm fucking out of here so fast to go to that place. I've gone on Google Maps. I'm on the internet like often, seeing if anyone can show me pictures of the inside from like a person's view to maybe pretend like I'm walking through it. And one day I found like the Google Maps, and you get to go inside of it. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited and I'm so pumped, and it fucking stops at the lobby. And I was just like, was like a little bit weepy, and I was like, I'm never gonna get to go to Circus. So yeah, now I have this like plan to maybe start a cult and maybe have
Circus
it.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's like, oh man, it's like one of those things where, you know, I hate rubbing it in.
Don't you even
But I went No,
you.
This
I mean,
podcast is breaking up. I see it
no,
happening.
the idea,
Flip
that,
this
the
fucking
idea that is
table.
like, the idea that, because like, knowing the inside of that place, and like, I'm not taking anything away from like the desire and like the want, and I feel that, and like
Yeah.
going there like with that attitude, it will probably be like the best walking in there. I've been with people going into Circus that are like walk in and then are immediately like, I'm gonna go across the street.
And that's exactly what I feel like it's
Yeah,
going to be.
it's gonna
But
like-
I need that.
And get that hot dog.
I
And
need the
get
fucking
that
hot dog,
shitty
and I
hot
need
dog.
that,
And the
I-
best steak
and the
in
best
Vegas.
steak.
Brought to you by the shittiest, cheapest hot dog in Las Vegas.
Steak is actually short for mystique.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat this.
But yeah, so that's basically it. And I don't talk to a lot of people about it because it actually sounds insane. Because like I do start crying, and I do want to go to Circus so bad. And it is like one of the most magical things that's ever happened to me. Magical and terrifying.
Yeah.
Like just like terrifying that I didn't get to go there. I'm like, what if this is the thing that I have no regrets usually. Like everything's just like whatever, it's fine. I don't I wouldn't be like who
Yeah.
I am without like all this other shit, and I don't really like to stew on that stuff. But this is the one regret I have.
I have a very similar one to, and it's when I went to Amsterdam, and I was there for 10 days with a friend of mine, and he would not go with me to the Hard Rock Cafe in Amsterdam, where it was like, dude, it's one meal. Can we just go to the shitty tourist trap?
Yeah.
I want to see what celebrities have their bullshit in the Hard Rock Cafe Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just
Like, yeah.
fixated. You get fixated on this.
Oh yeah,
one
and
thing
this
because
one
you
thing,
just
like,
want to know.
I just want to see it.
I just want
wanna
to see
go.
it. It doesn't.
Like,
It doesn't.
yeah.
I know that it's like no one's gonna like understand it on
Yeah.
the level that I understand it, but like I just want to fucking go.
Well, vacations
Get it
are
over
about
with.
like I love it. You know, like when you go on a vacation, it's amazing to do. You know, like the off the beaten path stuff, and that
Yeah.
stuff's incredible. But there's also a fun appeal to doing the like reason so many people go.
Yep.
like doing the tourist trapty stuff. Like it's like,
And I do love those things.
yeah,
I
they're
love
like there's a reason
always ready.
people go to them all the time. Like,
I think your friend's kind of shitty, to be honest.
Yeah, I would totally go with you. And I
Yeah.
know that you would go to
Thanks,
Circus
guys.
with me.
thanks.
So
We can go to the Hard Rock Cafe.
He
and
did
answer.
set up our entire
We're
trip and just invited me because he thought it would be fun for us to go together. But F him.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
F you, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, Chris,
This one I'm not editing it
you're
out.
in the hot seat.
Mister. Oh, I can't even do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, we're
he's the
starting a
best. He's a lovely
Kickstarter
guy.
so that we can go to Vegas and go to the Circus
Yeah.
and then go to Amsterdam so Eric can go to the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you want to donate to our Kickstarter, our Instagram.
We already have
Yeah.
$800 saved up.
yeah, we already have $800.
I have $100 I can throw on top of that.
I owe you 38.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
With
have
plus interest.
$92. I can throw on that. And technically, Jen has $808.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, it's funny because me and Abdul were like, the place we're going to go to is Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
So-
If you go,
So-
I'll go with you, and we can just have your first meal there, and then I'll go back home.
Right back on the plane.
Yeah, I know.
Get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey,
$1,200
not an
well
issue.
spent.
Not an issue. You think I wanted to come here for the company? I came here for the steak fry.
Yes.
I wanted to see David Byrne's suit from Stop Making Sense.
I know. Not the one he wore,
No, just
but
one of his
the
suits.
alternative suit that he could have worn.
It's not big at all.
Yeah,
It's just regular.
It's just a regular suit. Really could be anybody. And who's David Burns?
Did I see David Byrne?
No, that's
Oh,
I
I get it. I'm
Off-brand
with the
bird.
bit now.
off-brand. Yeah.
He was in the Talking Heat,
Yeah.
the Scottish bands.
They had that album Mystique.
The
Okay,
best mystique in Vegas.
We're on the road to now here. That was a big hit by them.
Well, Jen, we'll get you there. One
Yeah.
day.
Well, yeah, no,
Someday.
You'll get to Circus
Definitely.
We're gonna get
I think it'll be okay.
we're gonna drop you off at Circus if it kills us.
Let's go. Let's get in the car, guys.
It's only
Yeah.
$20 to stay there every
much?
night.
How much?
To stay at Circus?
It's $20 a
Stay
night.
at there?
Yes.
Oh damn!
That's the best deal.
That's like yeah, and the best.
That
steak.
is the best steak in Vegas.
I know, yeah.
It sure fucking is.
That was like, I mean, it's been like my favorite spot because of the cheap hot dog thing. I didn't even know about the $20 stay or the great steak.
Yeah.
Damn. Circus has everything.
It's
Yeah.
got fucking everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except Jen.
Except
Not allowed.
me.
No Jen's allowed.
Or
God.
birds.
So yeah, that's my story.
Well,
Yeah. We'll get there.
That's a tale full of sorrow.
Sure is. Cried all the way back. Wee, wee, wee. Wee, wee, all the way back to
ba 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 ba.
Oh man, he's crying again. Ba 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 ba.
That's why you pay for this podcast. Those hot impressions.
So let's talk about your book.
Yeah, I got a book. I impulse bought a bunch of books last week. I got one yesterday. This week feels like a long day.
Yeah.
So I did exactly one chapter of it. There wasn't even that many worksheets. Oh, so it's the Anxiety and Worry Workbook, The Cognitive Behavioral Solution by David A. Clark, PhD, and Aaron T. Beck, MD. So basically cognitive therapy, as this introductory chapter that I read describes, is basically it's about when you're having anxious behavior, recognizing those thoughts and the triggers, and then realigning your thoughts and like changing your way of thinking about it, which like seems really obvious. I'm already like skeptical and hating on this book, but I'm doing it. I did like there's like a couple worksheets about like, are you feeling worried while writing this book? That's a good start. Like, these people feel this way. Like, one of it is they give like 3 stories of 3 different people to represent like worry and anxiety and social anxiety and stuff, and then like they tell you to like, if you feel this way, write down times you felt this way. But yeah, so it's like a lot of self-help stuff where it's like Also, they recommend like literally every paragraph that this workbook be paired with actual cognitive therapy treatment. But I don't have health insurance, so I'm doing it on my own right now.
Like, try eating an orange.
Yeah.
Also, go to therapy and take medication.
So I spent $12 in this book. I'm going to make it work.
I know Matthew Leskow.
That's a fraction of a
Mental health
copay.
for free.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's pretty interesting. The first like 5 chapters, I think, are just about like understanding anxiety and all that, and then like
Is it anxiety? I'm sorry. Is it anxiety specific? Right?
Anxiety and worry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like for anxiety and not depression. And yes, there's like a bunch of worksheets in the later chapters, and then like, so 1 through 5 is just like talking about the process with some worksheets, and then 6 through 8 or 5 through 7 or whatever are like the actual things you're supposed to do, and then 10 chapters 9, 10, and 11 are like the advanced, like ones for advanced social anxiety. So like if the stuff that you've already done doesn't
Is
help
not
you,
working. Like,
here's the extra course. Here's the bonus features.
Are they level? I'm just kidding. Can you go to the back and see what the hardest thing to do is? Or no, because I guess right now it would be easier in the back, or like more breakdown of stuff, right? Yeah,
right.
okay.
So
And there's an answer sheet in the back, right?
Yeah, of what should be the
I got
correct
the
answer.
I got the
correct
Spark
ones?
notes,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's gonna be okay. Yeah, so I don't know. It hasn't got to any. Basically, the worksheets I filled out were like talking about things I want to change as a result of this, working on this. A lot of it's about like being in the right headspace for change, which I feel like I am right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it just like had me fill out. I'll show you guys my worksheet because it's full of my tiny crazy writing. So this is
Wow, that's
Whoa.
small.
I write very small. It's a defense mechanism from when I was in school. I used to write sad feelings in a notebook a lot, poetry and stuff, and like people would make fun of me for it.
Yeah.
So I started writing really small, so when people would come to make fun of me, they would get extremely discouraged by the large, tiny words I was writing, and just move on and call me like a faggot and then move on instead of like
Faggot nerd,
actually
as opposed
reading
to,
out
like,
my feelings in front of a bunch
I
of
know
people.
those are feelings.
I
They're
write very
small, but I know.
I write very small, but yeah, I filled out like almost all the boxes about stuff I want to change, like behavioral changes. Overcome anxiety and be more productive every day is the number one thing I want to change, and then help manage my anxiety to gain more consistent sleep, spend less time worrying about social interactions because I do that like a lot. I like have a fine day with a friend, and then one thing I said I'll just dwell on.
Oh yeah, like
absolutely.
all day tomorrow,
Absolutely.
I'll regret everything I've said during this.
Yeah, like I'll say a joke and then I'll be like, oh, I hope they weren't
Think of
upset,
it that
even though
way,
they
yeah.
laughed, and then I'll dwell on it forever.
Well,
Yeah.
they probably pretended to laugh because they were uncomfortable. Like, and that's
Yeah,
the,
they
like,
just didn't want me to be bummed out because that's how I feel.
In the in that area, is it like 1 through 5 of what you want to work on in order, or does it no preference?
Yeah, it's just like I think the numbers there are just to like help break it up.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to maybe like, because this is the starting thing, fill out as many as I did, because I only left 2 blank boxes, and that's mostly because I ran out of time and had to go to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird because I am very self-aware of like when I'm feeling anxious, I'm not like, oh, like I know that I'm being crazy. Like I know that my brain's being crazy. Like when I have these thoughts about like upsetting my friends. One time I had this. I have this friend. I've been friends with him for a very long time, since we were like young kids, and we never tie. He's just like a friend that like we see each other, we pick up. He's like family. We just pick up like it was yesterday. But like I hadn't heard from him in a while, and this one day I had this anxiety day where I was convinced he hated me, and I thought about calling him for hours, being like, "Do you hate me?" Which is like bizarre, and he would have just been like, "No, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Do you need help?" And which yes, I do. I'll always need help. But I just like, but I knew in my brain logically, like, no, it's fine. You just always go months without talking to this person.
Yeah.
There was no problem. He's not mad at you. Why would he be mad at you? So, like, I feel like I'm like halfway there with using this therapy, as far as like I can recognize that behavior. I typically am recognizing it when it happens, even when I'm spiraling out of like a big one is, all right, so like I've been single for a long time, so I've gone on a lot of dates, which always is like nerve-wracking because I have all these like emotional and physical intimacy issues that I have to deal with, and like keeping my own boundaries is a huge problem. But I was going out on dates with this girl who was like a little bit more vocally sexual than I am, and like, so she's like sending me some dirty texts, and I'm like, oh, this is fun, and I send them back, and then I sent this thing, and it was like kind of late at night, and she didn't text me back, and I was like, oh,
well, there it is.
okay, it's fine. She probably just fell asleep, and I was like, then it just like I felt like I was like in a plane that was going down. Like at first it was like, yeah, we're at cruising altitude and everything's okay. And then it's like, oh, we're about to hit some mild turbulence. And like in my brain, like it's like literally like, I'm like, I'll just, no big deal. She probably fell asleep or whatever.
Put the phone
it's
down.
Late at
No
night.
worries.
Put the phone down. Like it's just spiraled out for the whole night. And like to the point where like now I'm on the plane and it's going down. And I'm like, oh my God, fucking help me. And I'm spiraling out. And like,
and you want to text something
I told myself
again.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
why aren't you talking to
You okay?
me?
So I know this is just
Haha,
my,
What
just kidding.
happened?
I know this is just my anxiety like talking, and like the thing I sent was like so mild and like not like awful, and like I woke up for work and I had barely slept and I was still feeling super anxious about it, and I was like I'm gonna wait till noon because that's like when people text, and then if she hasn't texted me back by then, I'll send another text. And I do this thing a lot. I did this last week, and when I talked about that thing I did to my friend that I like regretted last week, I did this too. I was like, I'll wait until X time, and then just immediately I'm like, nope. So like an hour goes by at work, and I'm like, I have to text this person now, and I just text like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry I sent that to you. I just don't want you to like be bummed out. Like, I'm sorry I pushed past. If you don't want to like talk to me anymore, that's fine. I just want you to know that like I think you're really cool, and like I'm sorry I did this awful thing, and like I'm sorry I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And she just like texts back like 2 hours later, like, dude, I fell asleep. Like, you're fine. You're perfect. Don't like. It's okay. You're like a sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Like, and I was like, God. And then I just text back, well, I wish there was a rock big enough for me to die under in this yard right now. Because like the whole time, my logical brain, like the part of me that understands my mental illness is like, dude, it's fucking fine.
Oh
Yeah.
it's absolutely.
But then there's that other part where you're like,
I'm
it's like
just
a
riding
it's
this
like a demon.
spiral.
You get like a little bit
That's-
possessed, and you're just like, whoops. You know how I cope with that is just never is assuming that I'm a burden to everyone, and then not talking to anyone ever.
That's
Don't
my
send
method.
a text.
Yeah, that's my method.
Don't
that,
text at
see,
all.
like,
Don't text at all.
It's fun. Yeah, because I'll go through. Yeah, just like I won't respond forever. But then like mine is like guilt from not responding.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I have
And
it
it's like-
looming
and
over
and
me.
it builds up, and then like once a message has gone past the 24-hour mark, then it's like I need to respond to them, but now it's too late.
Yeah.
And like now it's just like now, and like really, and it's like one of those things where it's like I'm trying, like I'm so guilty and trying not to like like be a dick, but I'm literally like looking at the phone and just like
And back-
just trying to be like, just put your thumb, just like put the thumb on it and start typing. Like just put the thumb on it. Like that's all you have to do. But it's like then it's like, but once you put it on there, it says that you've read it. Like,
Yeah. I see. I don't fuck with iPhones, so nobody can ever tell.
Also-
an iPhone.
I don't have an iPhone.
No,
but
Eric,
some
I'll show you.
help me.
I'll show you.
Because I hate it so.
I fucking hate it too.
That's
And
the
you know
worst.
what? I turn off.
I don't want to see someone's
Wait, can
typing.
your Androids do it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I turn off read receipts. I don't fucking want to know when someone reads my message.
See, I never know when people...
I don't want to know when people are
It'll
typing.
always say the only time that people can see you typing is if you can see them typing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can never see anybody typing, so they can't see me typing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so,
should be how it
if,
is.
If you don't
can,
see someone saying like typing,
Okay.
like then it shouldn't be an issue.
and I
That's
can
great,
I can show you how to
because-
shut that off.
Oh, please help.
I never try to intentionally dodge, but when I'm feeling anxious, I like need to make sure I write the perfect thing, so I'll like let it hang
well,
for a while.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing
me
where it's
too.
like, well, it has.
And then
like,
it says,
the
like-
message, especially if you delay,
And you-
you're like the message has to be perfect.
It has to be spot on.
Like,
Yeah, and then like, what do you want to do? Like, if someone, and also don't quote me on that. Now I'm gonna spend all afternoon on Reddit, double, triple checking that.
Read
it's-
receipts, are they real?
Are they
yeah.
real? Like, am I being tricked? Is this all like a huge plot to get me to be humiliated and always be entering my text and using it as a draft? And someone's always like, she's typing here and there, but
Why'd
always
she leave me
entering
on
text.
read?
She's leaving me on read. And
Android's been fucking with Jen for years.
Jesus Christ, I fucking knew it. But yeah, no,
Google.
I feel that same way, and I also space out a lot. And like, if I'm at work and I'm doing something, I'll look at a text and then I'll forget. And then a few days later, I'll be like, "Where's that funny picture I sent my mom?" And I'll be scrolling down through it, and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" You know how many times in my life I've had to text someone, "I'm so sorry. I just saw this. I read it. Don't remember, and now I'm texting you back. I want you to know that I care about you, and I hope that you're doing great." And then we don't actually get to any of the conversation part because I'm just apologizing. Like, my dear, sweet friend, Aurora, like, me and her text back and forth, and she's so good at it. And I'm always just like, we text when we're, like, at work, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I fucking, and Lauren Duquette. And you know what? All my friends, Roxanne, Loretta, I'm sorry, all of them. I just fucking forget, and all of our conversation is me apologizing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
and it's horrible.
I think even to you two already, I've like started doing that. Like,
oh yeah, and my whole thing too is like, I know you guys are so much cooler than me, and so when we do have those texts, I'm just like, oh man, how are you gonna fuck this up today, Jen? How are you gonna get them not want to come over your house?
You guys can't fuck up anything.
And that's what I need to remember. Is like, it's just my anxiety.
although we're
brain.
not gonna correct you that we are much cooler.
No, that's fine. I don't need any correction. I know.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
We gotta wrap this up because I got a cool guy meeting.
You got a modeling shoot to go to, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Yeah. No, I already canceled it. I feel awful about it, but I just don't have time to do it today.
Yeah, I'm
'cause I
really
totally
busy too.
forgot.
I have a partially deflated air mattress in my room I need to
I mean,
cry
Jen,
on. So
you are busy because you have to get back to zero with your social interaction.
yeah.
because-
This is a lot for me.
Did a
It's been a
lot
big
this
weekend
weekend,
for
yeah.
me. I held a bunch
Proud
of
you.
babies.
You're doing good.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
You seem collected. You said you were feeling crazy, but you're very collected.
This is really centering me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling like today's like a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Oh, not mistake.
You can't.
Please leave.
It's pronounced mystique.
Take this goddamn raspberry donut with you. Is it? Oh, it's gone.
I got
Did
rid
you
of
throw
it.
it
She
away?
threw it away.
No, I left it for Abdul because he sometimes likes the scraps.
I heard that about him.
He's my little scrap boy. Yeah.
Your guys' roleplay is very bizarre.
Yeah. Scrap boy and rake queen.
You know what I'm trying to turn in? All right, Abdul, you're going to be the scrapyard owner, and I'm going to be the woman trying to trade in her 1973 rusted out VW Beetle.
All right. All right, so you're going to be, in this one, you're going to be a casino, and I'm
I'm gonna be on a bus looking at
You're
you.
lucky the you're lucky
I'm
the
gonna be a
clown.
bus driving past you.
now I'm the bus, okay?
Was
That was actually a good one.
it?
That was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? C minus to C.
My part of the Kickstarter is I want to be sent to voice classes, so I know
teach.
how to do.
That's not what that sounds
I'm
like.
teaching voice classes at my yacht.
Yeah. I have an,
Yacht sailing
Yacht
practice.
sailing.
I have an impressionist practice.
That's me teaching.
Yeah. Now, what do you think it is? I love it.
Anything else anybody wants to talk about? Eric, you got anything?
I think I'll wait.
You gonna wait?
I'm gonna wait on this because I had a big one that I wanted to do.
I'm sorry we ate up all the time.
Oh no, not at all. It was the
stupid-
natural course, and
Yeah.
it felt much better. And
Yeah.
I was freaking out about it anyway.
I also have a big thing that I have been not talking about.
yeah.
so-
There's like
I definitely don't have anything big.
If
It's
you-
definitely not
yeah.
repressed.
if you can't tell, I think it's actually pretty clear from the descriptions of we all had really shitty weeks and how much we are all laughing.
Yeah.
Right now, where it's
Feels
like
good.
it's great, and we're hiding shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
got some stuff. I think maybe probably the next episode or something we should start
Yeah, I think mine and yours are relationship-y things.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do that next episode because we don't have a guest.
Yeah.
We don't fucking want one.
yeah.
yeah.
Unless your friend Alana wants to come on, she can be on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know she's a
We're gonna
soft
talk.
maybe.
She's a soft maybe,
Yeah.
for sure. It's a day before her birthday, so.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
you know, people need a whole week to celebrate.
Oh yeah,
That's what I
absolutely.
need.
Whole week.
Eric
Yeah.
celebrated for a whole month.
Yeah, that's right.
He just finished
Just
his
busted
birthday.
into that.
Yeah, no, I still got half a birthday to go through.
How long can I make this last?
Did you guys want to do the a challenge thing?
Oh
or
yeah,
do you
yeah.
wanna do
So yeah, what's our challenge this? Well,
I guess we can all pick
for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, or do we want to like pick individual?
So
or?
are we just gonna pick a goal we're setting for ourselves, mental health wise?
Yeah, I guess like just overall like.
I think that's a good one because I feel like we each have like really
Separate
close
goals,
but
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
I don't don't have one prepared, so I need to think.
So
about
I'll go.
it.
I'll go first because
And I'll go second.
I don't want to go first, even though I mentioned it twice.
Do you want me to go first?
No,
No.
no, I don't.
I'm just
Puked a little bit on the microphone.
I want to go first more. Is my goal. No, my actual plan, and it actually really works well for holding off until like maybe next week to talk about the thing I wanted to, because then I'll have a week under my belt without it. This is what I told you from before. I'm really shitty at stories. I'm going to start with like a part of it that you don't need to get. But no, I am going to, for the month, I'm going to quit smoking.
woo.
Great.
Quit smoking.
You can do it, buddy.
That's right. I'm going to bum one more. Because
After
that's what
today.
smokers do.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
But no, and then, no, not after today, after this last one.
One last one.
One last one. And then, which always works awesome, I'll
Yeah.
say. But no, it's
One
like,
last taste to get
I've teased it a bunch more, I'm guessing, to myself, in the sense that, hoping that I would quit. Like I wanted to quit, or said I was going to when I turned 30. And then I said when I think in October last year, and then I was like definitely New Year, and then definitely on my birthday, and then but I think the aspect of this and being like in a situation where like I'll see you guys again and we're gonna have a week to week talk about it.
Yeah. So we can check in on you.
Yeah.
See how you're
And
doing.
so I make a genuine effort. No, and like I'm gonna go for the no bumming, no like just out. Like,
Cold turkey.
Trick
That
the
sounds
body
good.
of I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
believe
month.
in you.
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
and I think that was the thing too, where it's just like because I know like talking about the thing that I definitely want to talk about, having a week of not smoking already under my belt, I think would be easier.
Yeah.
Than the fact because like if we just went into it, I would buy a pack of cigarettes right after this.
Well, I need to smoke.
And
now.
instead of smoking
yeah.
them, you just start eating them.
I would just eat the shit out of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and I know it'll be better for.
You'll have 2 weeks because we're not recording next week because I have to work the St. Patty's Day parade at my job.
Oh
And,
man.
It's my dad's 60th birthday dinner.
Woo!
So the night
man.
before. So I'll be
For St. Patrick's Day, he's doing
Too
it?
full of
Yep.
spaghetti.
yeah, just this year.
Yeah.
Just this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Good
goal.
luck, buddy.
So,
yeah.
and I guess that's the other thing I wanted to mention is like, because the idea where it's like, I always like think it's like I'm torn in the idea of mental health wise, where it's
Yeah.
like, man, like, am I doing this because I know I'm slowly killing myself? And besides looking as cool as you do, smoking
look-
cigarettes.
Smoking cigarettes,
Really
me
cool.
as a person who's never smoked before, I've always been envious of how people who smoke look cooler. Than
Yeah,
me.
after like
Not being
for a period,
Yeah.
and then they get totally uncool looking.
Yeah.
But the idea is
No,
like
trakes are cool, man.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
are. Oh,
Especially
man.
if you smoke a cigarette. On
anything
your
in
trach.
anything in your neck is sweet. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that.
Choker.
Yeah. You put a choker in your neck.
Yeah.
That's great.
Ah, it keeps getting stuck.
Chips.
I usually put chips in my choker.
Yeah.
I like the way it crunches.
Yeah.
A crispy choker.
I put a choker in my sandwich. But yeah, so it's like the mix of like it's like, man, like I hate myself, so I'm like smoking to slowly kill myself and like have my control of it, or like, but I should be doing like the idea was like, well, you hate yourself, so why don't you make yourself miserable by not smoking?
Yeah.
You prick. Like,
Take away the one source
yeah,
of
no,
joy.
take away with yeah, like, well, I mean, it's like the idea was like, I do think it's like I got several crutches.
Yeah.
I don't need 4 crutches.
I don't need all of them.
Yeah, I don't need a third wheel on my crutch. Like, so I guess that's the thing. It's like I know it's a health thing. I feel it will probably be a mental health
think
thing.
so.
It'll go up and down. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, all the extra stimulants are not good for your brain, so.
yeah.
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 So
Totally.
yeah. So that's what I'm picking.
Jen, you got one?
I do. Well, this past week, the one thing I do remember is allowing myself to be taken advantage of all week.
Yeah.
Just like doing things for other people. I'm very much like a people pleaser. It's easier. I feel like it's easier for me to. I don't really feel like I care about that. Like, I'm just like, oh, I don't really care about that. I don't mind doing that. But it honestly just creates like a kind of fucked up relationship that I have with like individual people of doing things for them. But so I'm just going to try to fucking stand up for myself a little bit more, be a little bit more assertive and not let people dick me around. And even though I do love doing copious amounts of work, chores, cleaning, favors, all these things, and I'm going to try to not do that and maybe do those things solely for myself.
Yeah.
Because so that's my goal, is to just, I'm still trying to get to that point where like right now I'm very passive. And underneath the surface, I'm very aggressive, and I freak the fuck out, and I'm angry a lot of the time. Right. And so I'm trying to meet it in the middle where, like, I'm not scary. And me and Abdul had, like, sort of talked about this because I was trying to be assertive about something, just, like, a thing in general. I was just, like, trying out, like, a really easy thing, you know. I was just like, you know, like, when's, like, the recording going to be ready, you know? Like, what's going on with it? And I really didn't understand what was happening with it, and I don't understand, like, computer jargon and stuff like that. And he's like, you know, like, you were being assertive that time, and then, like, the other times you were being, like, kind of aggressive, and so, like, you're getting it, and, like, and so that was encouraging, and I'm going to try to be better with it this week and be, like, less of a dick and less of a wimp.
It is, but there's like, there's a fine line, or maybe it's not so fine, but it seems like more of a fine line, and the idea is, like, if you're never, like, standing up for yourself in that regard when you do, it's like when you make the conscious decision where it's like, well, then I'm going for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And no!
And no one's
like,
even ready for me to, no one's ever ready for me to even be like, no.
Yeah.
Let alone me, like, lighting everything on fire and being like, I'm not going to be the person to take out the trash anymore. Yeah. You know? So
you peel the shrimp.
I've been doing this part of your job at work for years, and I'm not doing it anymore, you bitch. Instead, I should just be like, I need time for other things.
Yeah.
This is your responsibility.
What is it?
Yeah.
The Bartleby. I'd prefer not to.
I would prefer not to.
I would prefer not to.
Which actually, I work with female Bartleby.
Oh,
it sucks.
It's no, I mean, it's like one of those. I almost said awesome, and then I thought about the logistics.
I wish it was Crispin Glover, but it's not.
It would still suck.
Yeah, it would still suck. He's still fucking annoying.
He's a very annoying coworker.
Yeah. So, have you thought of one?
Yeah. Well, I got this book.
That's probably a good. Yeah. That's
It kind of coincides with some other issues that I'm dealing with. So, helping work on my anxiety and worry. So I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna try to get through more of it. I mean, you're not supposed to like finish.
Are you sure? Race through it. See what.
But I'm gonna try to be more conscious of my anxiety and worry, and like start trying to correct some of that behavior, and because it has been a lifelong struggle. So, and it does like really affect every single part of my life. Negatively.
Yeah.
Other than like. Sometimes I get so worried that I get stuff done really fast because I'm so anxious about it. But so I'm going to keep working on this workbook and, you know, being a little more conscious of my anxiety and like instead of just like recognizing like, wow, you're being really kooky, and then just letting the behavior continue trying to correct it. So,
yeah.
Excellent.
Well,
so that's what I got.
What page are you on?
14.
All right, making a note of it.
I'm going to try to get through at least a chapter a week.
Yeah.
So we got 2 weeks. I should get through 2 chapters. So I should be on. Hold me accountable.
Okay.
I should be on chat. My goal is to get to page. I'm bad at books.
That's okay.
Oh, you're reading it the wrong way.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't go backwards. I got to get to 52 by the next time we record.
All right.
52.
I think I can do it. I'll do all the worksheets. I'm not going to read them on the air because some of it's going to be.
Really personal and your business.
And we're not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. That's episode like 10 when we just started like, so I had this dark thought today. When we're talking about every single dark thought we have for material.
When we have our Halloween episode, we'll go full goth.
Spooky.
Yeah,
cool.
That'd be great.
Spooky sadness.
I would like to say too is like I know I picked a more like actual health thing.
That's fine.
But I do like because my ultimate goal is to start hanging out more and trying that.
Yeah.
But I want to get this first thing done.
I gotta tell you,
And I know I'm going to be really weird for like the first couple of weeks. And I was like, I don't know if that's the time for me to start being like, let's hang out.
as a person who hangs out a lot, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
You know what? It never seemed like it.
Yeah. No, I honestly.
As a person who
Someone who worked all the time,
to hang out all the time.
like watched Hangouts, I was like, yeah, you know.
You know when people say one last thing for me end this? People say like, oh, I have like FOMO, like fear of missing out. I do not have that. I have fear of missing out on gen time.
Yeah.
I have fear of missing out on constructive nights alone, just like
What if I don't get to 27% on Minesweeper?
what if
I
you
played
don't?
on hard, all right?
You're good at Minesweeper.
You are really
Played a
good.
lot. You can't see my eyes right now.
They're not blinking.
They're not looking.
Wide open.
You can't fall asleep on the Minesweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's all for this week. Another cracking episode.
Yeah.
Gang. Does anybody have a sign off for this?
Yeah, I think it would be you can sit here if you would like to.
That's it. See you next time.